And Jesus said, "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Since 1998, Mission Solano has been serving the homeless of Fairfield and Solano County, carrying out Jesus' commandment to love one another in daily, tangible ways. By meeting daily needs and helping to find long-term solutions, Mission Solano is helping to meet the needs of those less fortunate in our community. Many individuals have found their lives changed for the better, healed, and well on their way to helping others. Perhaps no one understands this cycle and the joy of a restored life better than Ron Marlette. Mission Solano's executive director, Ron understands homelessness from a very personal perspective. Growing up homeless in Fairfield, Ron found himself early on in the cycle of addiction.
When I think of downtown Fairfield, especially when I drive down here nowadays, it's odd kind of the memories that come to my mind. Many memories of when I was a youth, homeless, young kid, homeless walking these streets. Or later in my teens, walking these streets again, but only dealing drugs and destruction and robbery and anything else that I got myself into. And then up here where Allenwood Park is really the last memory that I had of my mother, who was sitting in that park. And as homeless, we were homeless as children, living in a motel up here, and she was there. The last memory I have of her was there drinking in the park, and she died at the age of 38 from cirrhosis of the liver.
Since its founding in 1998, Mission Solano has grown to 45 paid staff members and more than 1,000 volunteers. We have sheltered more than 400,000 individuals, provided more than 2 million meals. And it all started with a bus.
We're here at the Mission Solano Community Outreach because this is where the majority of ministry and changed lives has taken place. Now, Mission Solano didn't start here at the Community Outreach Center. It actually started, as the story goes, with a donated bus. A donated bus parked down at the old community hospital and taking the individuals that were homeless and needed help onto the bus and sleeping them on the bus, feeding them on the bus. Before long, we had a porta potty behind it, a generator, people were bringing food. It was a regular rescue mission in a bus.
Yeah, so I remember your van pulling into the parking lot, and I remember you walking into the front door of this business, and I'm sitting behind the counter, and I was sitting back thinking, how can I tell this guy about Jesus, let alone you're coming in and telling me about what we're gonna do for Jesus.
Looking back now, I can see why God brought Raymond to this mission, because there is no way that this mission, or I could have done, or the mission could have done what we have seen done if it were not for Raymond. And we see that in people that come here volunteering, people that volunteer and become staff. It was a lot easier when there was just one staff member back then, but God has blessed Mission Solano, and we have a lot of staff and a lot of money to raise, but the bottom line is lives continue to be changed, and individuals continue to be reconciled to their family, their community, and to God. And that's exciting to be a part of this.
The mission grew. Church and community invested their people, their facilities, and their resources. And Mission Solano started growing past two men's dream into a unique place of hope and healing.
And even now we have the Bridge to Life Center, and we have the capacity for 208 people on that property. The nomadic sheltering still continues. As we look back again at the nomadic sheltering, God had a different idea with that bus. And what had taken place is the churches of Solano County, the churches in our communities have continued to open their doors for the purpose of helping the homeless and the poverty-stricken. And that has changed the church. That has changed the community as we know it, because we begin to watch and see compassion come alive through the churches and through the people stepping out in faith and believing that we can make a difference.
Fast forward to 2006 and the launch of the Rays of Hope campaign and the groundbreaking of the Bridge to Life Center. An audacious goal to build an entire facility committed to the idea that people can and will change if only given the opportunity of a hand up and not just a hand out. What seemed impossible came to fruition with the generous help of partners like Home Aid and the City of Fairfield, as well as dozens of local corporations and hundreds of generous individuals who have partnered with Mission Solano to turn this dream into reality. In 2009, we came together again to cut the ribbon.
What we have here at the Bridge to Life Center is what we call a holistic center, and what it means is we deal with the whole person here, the physical, the emotional, the psychological, the behavioral, and the key of it all is what changes people for eternity is the spiritual component. And being able to bring the compassion, love, and life-changing message of the gospel of Jesus Christ to the people that come to us and are looking for that hope that they can't find in the drugs or the lifestyles that they've been living. So this here is what is going to continue the work of the gospel and the good news of Jesus Christ long after we're all gone.
Today we provide services to as many as 170 different individuals a day. Annually, we serve more than 131,000 meals and provide nearly 44,000 nights lodging. These numbers are staggering. But even more than that, each one of these is a person, a life, touched and even changed. People given opportunity when they need it the most. And Mission Solano's success rate speaks for itself.
What I do love about Mission Solano is that they're here to help not only the chronically homeless, but they help people who have needs, whether they're emotional, physical, spiritual, intellectual. It's a holistic program, and it's not just about being homeless. It's about all of those different areas, and all of those areas are addressed in their programs, in their education, in their counseling, and I think that's what helps people to be successful in their endeavor to change.
Today, we enjoy 6 of the planned 10 buildings of the Bridge to Life Center, an amazing accomplishment when you look back to the piles of dirt and concrete only a few short years ago. The Matt Garcia Home for Women and Children brings restoration to those that often have nowhere else to turn and provide the care and dignity these moms and children deserve. The Lefevre Matson and the U.S. Eagle Hamlin family units often serve as a final place of transition to those who are ready to re-enter the workforce and are on the path to their own apartment or house. One of our newest additions, the Hope Home for Homeless Veterans, is serving an often overlooked segment of society. Those who have sacrificially given of themselves to provide freedom to us and our country. With a 73% success rate, the VA views Mission Solano as uniquely equipped to serve this group better than any organization or program.
At Mission Solano, we've taken on a bit of a niche in terms of dealing with homeless veterans. And that was a bit of a surprise to us, and it probably shouldn't have been. The location we're at is just a couple of miles away from Travis Air Force Base, but it came over time, and it has been a good fit for everybody. A mission takes on the flavor of the people who come to it. And the worst thing that can happen to a mission is to be told, I don't feel safe there. The veterans that have been here have brought a sense of safety and stability. They have a sense of order and discipline that was in their life at some point back in the past. And it gives us something to build on in trying to bring them back into society.
We still have a homeless problem in this community, but what Mission Solano has allowed us to do is actually affect the individual lives of people who today would still be on the streets if it hadn't been for Mission Solano, who are now have houses, have jobs, are raising families, and are an asset to the community. And that's why Mission Solano is so important to us.
We celebrate 15 years. Years full of God's provision and blessings. Hundreds of churches and local businesses working collectively, and tens of thousands of individuals giving of their time, talent, and treasure. to change their community and their world through a worthy place.
We play with words a lot at Mission Solano, and we have this phrase of it's your mission. And we mean more than just the facilities around here belong to the community. We mean that it's the community's task, it's our responsibility, it's our calling to make sure that the most vulnerable in our community are taken care of. That's what Mission Solano does.
Mission Solano. The best is yet to come.